So I just watched the new Birds of Prey film that came out a couple of nights ago, and I absolutely loved this film. I thought it was pretty high octane, fast paced, great action sequences, fantastic acting. Overall, just a very fun film. Now, it's not perfect by any means, but those flaws that I'll be mentioning in this video doesn't really destroy my opinion on this film. It very much separates itself from every other superhero film that's being released and pumped out of Hollywood in recent months and past years. And what I think DC and Warner Brothers are doing really great is that they're letting their directors craft their own film and not have any restraints on them, just letting them explore whatever genre and feel that they want to with these superhero characters or just action hero characters. Each action sequence is very unique and different from the previous one. There's a lot of great visual humor and some good jokes that land, some that don't, but overall a very fun time they can have with their parents or friends. It's not Joker, The Dark Knight Rises, Shazam, Aquaman, Civil War, Endgame. It doesn't have to be highbrow or high alcohol. It can just be a fun, dumb film. At some points this one is a lot of dumb, but sometimes it is kind of genius in little small ways. Now the main thing I wanted to discuss in this video is the controversy and box office flop. In order to discuss those, in my opinion, I have to discuss the good and bad of this film while getting into spoilers. If I were to give a quick spoiler-free review, then great action, great acting, pretty good storyline. There's a problem I have with it, which is going back and forth with timeline, but other than that, it's very much a fun, high-octane film. The storyline is a bit messy. The whole jumping back and forth was very unnecessary in my opinion. It didn't really add too much of new information. It kind of made it convoluted at some moments. Now, I've done research and know like a background of most of these characters, mostly Harley Quinn and Huntress. The way everything was kind of narrated and shown was a bit sloppy, and even I was getting a bit confused at times. Not entirely lost, but just seemed a bit convoluted, especially if you don't know like good lore, I guess, or some previous knowledge of these characters. Now, the finale is a bit lackluster in my opinion. Now, this is mostly due to my fault. I've been up this film's ass since day one, since it's been announced, and when I saw leaked footage or leaked images of Huntress, Canary, and Montoya's final costumes, I thought that was going to be the final battle of this film. Turns out, if you've seen the film, the final battle is actually at the Booby Trap Arcade or Booby Trap Amusement Park and the car chase. And so I was a bit let down because I thought there was going to be more, but after witnessing Black Mask's death, I figured out, yep, this is the finale, so it's kind of a letdown. They do reveal the final costumes for these characters, but it's only for a minute, just showing the final formation of the Birds of Prey and them actually coming together, but that's sadly all we get. I was kind of disappointed, but also laughed at how he died. At the moment, I thought it was pretty funny how his guts exploded everywhere. I thought it was a great use of R rating because what they could have done was just have him explode underwater, but here you actually see his guts fly everywhere and it had like a good visual gag. After that happened, kind of setting it into my brain, I realized, oh shit, I'm not gonna see Ewan McGregor anymore. His performance in this film was so much fun.
Who's having a good time? You are!
He really had fun with this campy, over-the-top, somewhat gay character. He just seemed like he was having an overall fun time, and I could feel that. He was an asshole at times, and he was pretty energetic, fun, and gay at some moments. Overall, a lot of fun to watch him perform in this film and act. It's sad to see him not return anymore in the future. And finally, for the bad, is probably a plot hole, I think, mostly to Christina Hodson's writing. The main plot of this film is that Cassandra Cain eats a diamond, or swallows a diamond that she stole from Victor Zsasz, co-partner for Black Mask. And this diamond is encrypted to Bernalli bank accounts that are offshore. In the comic that I read of Huntress Year One, literally her family's fortune that's left to her is $6 billion. And after seeing her kill Victor Zsasz, who helped murder her family, I thought, oh, she's gonna want to join this gang because it's her diamond. But she was just gonna leave them. She didn't care anymore. This film, they make it like it's a lot of money because Black Mask's going through all this trouble to get back this diamond, and Helena doesn't really care.
He gets the diamond, you'll be unstoppable.
After killing Victor Zsasz, just kind of like, alright, I'm about to head out. The only one that pushed her back into the team was Harley Quinn, who was like, oh, well, Black Mask's gonna kill you, gotta work with us.
We're gonna have to work together.
Sure.
It's like she didn't really fucking care. She just like kind of went with the flow, which is pretty chill, I guess, but this is your family diamond we're talking about. Don't you want to, like, you know, keep it for yourself? The action, directed by Chad Stahelski, is amazing. Every action sequence is unique and different from the previous one. It's so fun to watch, and it's great to see Harley Quinn kind of use her backflips and kicks in such a cool, unique way. It's so much fun, you never really expect it. Now, I did see a couple of YouTubers that mentioned how some of the action sequences you could see from like a mile away, and I completely disagree with that because, again, each action sequence is in a different location and uses each location's different setting and surroundings to the hero's advantage. Everything is so different and unique in its own way, I never really saw how the fighting was gonna go. Everyone is having fun and just having a blast. This film feels like a passion project, and you can really feel it from the actors themselves, albeit Cassandra Cain, played by
Ella J. Bosco.
It's not really the most convincing, and that might be due to the screenwriting. There's not really much to give Cassandra Cain in this film, and not really much given at all, except for her abusive parents. That's really about it. LJ Basco doesn't really have much to work off of, and she seems pretty bland, but it's her first feature film, I believe. She looks like she's having fun. Everyone here just having a blast with the characters, and you can really resonate with these characters. They feel like Black Canary, Huntress, and Harley Quinn in this underworld Gotham that they live in.
The whole group back together again and reminiscing about all of it, I'm really realizing how much fun it was and how connected I felt to all of the women involved, and the guys too.
Now this is mostly the Harley Quinn show. The title is somewhat misleading, and you can tell that Warner Brothers is trying to change the name in movie theaters so it gets more seats in the theater. It's mostly Harley Quinn, and she has a lot of emotional depth in this film. It's very reminiscent of Batman the Animated Series, mixed with some of the Rebirth and New 52 comics of Harley Quinn. I really much appreciate and love that. I thought throughout the trailers, it looked like she was gonna have an easy breezy way of leaving the Joker and have a fun time. But in this film, you actually see her struggle and trying so hard to be independent from Joker. And after she actually breaks up from Joker, the audience sees how truly weak she is without Joker's protection, and not everyone that she's done wrong to is out to kill her, and she has no one to back her up or defend and protect her from these mobs and killers.
Without the Joker around, you're just a silly little girl with no one around to protect her.
And you can see how actually weak she is. She has no gang or mob or no terror. She's just a woman with a bat. Granted, she does have some great kick-ass sequences and she can't fight, but she doesn't have an army behind her.
I need a fucking crew.
And at one point in the film, Harley actually tries to trade in Cassandra Cain to Black Mask so she can get protection from the psychos and serial killers out to get her. It's amazing. It's very animated series Harley Quinn. It's very Paul Dini Harley Quinn.
No sweat, Toots. Boxy'll take care of us.
That's what I'm afraid of.
No matter how hard she tries to be independent and think that she's a hero or villain in her own mind, she always crawls back to the same person or same relationship that she was in the past.
Angel.
It was nice to see her break down, realizing that she's nothing by herself. She needs someone. In the end, she does become independent, but it was so great to see this. That was some great fan service in my opinion. Canary is the next best. Throughout this film, she just wants to live through life and walk day by day. She doesn't have a future plan or set goal. She just keeps her head down and she doesn't stand up for herself or anybody else. She even tears up by seeing Black Mask humiliate another woman in front of many people in his club. You see her character progression, how she's finally standing up for herself and others and fighting against those doing wrong. Cassandra Cain also really has just abusive parents. That's really it. Huntress, her family fucking dies. What else can I say? That's enough emotional depth. Could have gone deeper into it. Again, as I mentioned, read Huntress Year 1. It's a very great comic. And Montoya has lack of respect from her male counterparts in the police department. I'll be discussing more of the men in this film in a different segment. That's all she really has going for her. And I guess alcoholism. It's not really thrown in there too much. Her and Cain are like the weakest when it comes to emotional depth. It's literally the underworld of Gotham. There has to be violence, villains, criminals, and assholery all around. Everyone's a dick to each other because they're criminals and villains. I want to see them curse and murder people because, again, it's the underground world of Gotham. It needs to be hard R, in my opinion. Now, the small scale, I've mentioned this a little bit before, how everyone's after Harley. What Christina Hodson did great, and director Kathy Ann, everyone in this film, is continuously remind the audience someone is after Harley. In each scene, there was someone new trying to kill her or take vengeance against her. It was nice to see that. Oh shit, Harley is really fucked up without Mr. J. I thought that was pretty good. It worked with her character progression of how she essentially almost turned in Cassandra Cain over to Black Mask because she realizes that without someone that has a huge amount of power and fear, she is completely and utterly fucked.
Let's go home.
And Ewan McGregor's Black Mask is just amazing. He's just a villain to be a villain. All he wants in this film is money and power. No deeper, complicated issue or gigantic reasoning. He just wants money, power, and loyal friends. He's not Zemo from Civil War. He's not Vulture from Spider-Man Far From Home. Added with some campiness, some fun, some light humor. He's so much fun to watch, and it's very sad that they killed him in the same movie. I kind of wish that he only got arrested, or that instead of him exploding, he was in an explosion that melted the mask onto his face. And with the R rating, it would have been really gory and awesome to see the mask molding and melting within him, and him just returning in a Gotham City Sirens sequel to this film. Even in the Batman, he can make a cameo appearance. I just want more of Ewan McGregor's Black Mask. And let's say producers of Warner Brothers want to dive in more into Roman Sionis' character depth. His defeat and loss from this battle by the Birds of Prey would have been a great character motive and growth as to why he wants to seek vengeance and kill these Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn. Not only did they take and keep the diamond from him, but they defeated him in battle, they got the GCPD to arrest him, and during this battle, an explosion happens causing the Black Mask to melt and mold into his face, permanently, physically leaving him with a gigantic scar and black-facing for eternity. That's great character motive. That would have been great to see in future films, and be able to see him team up with other Gotham City villains like Maroni, Falcone, Penguin, etc, etc. And we could have even seen some more torture like in Gotham City Sirens, where he tortures Selena Kyle's sister and Selena Kyle's sister's husband. But sadly, he fucking eats it in this film and just fucking dies. Another thing that I believe is underappreciated is that none of these characters or leads have any kinds of superpowers, albeit Dinah Lance, who has the Canary Cry, but she only uses that power in states of emergency. And when she does use it, she faints because it takes so much power and energy out of her, which makes sense as to why I shouldn't use it early on in the film. It would just then make every action sequence way too easy and not add any tension or high stakes. Our leads are petite, skinnier women. They're no Ronda Rousey or Serena Williams, so they have to use weapons to their advantage. Harley Quinn, a bat and mallet and guns at times. Huntress, a crossbow and gun. Montoya, a gun and brass knuckles. Canary, a bat and her kicks. They have to use weapons in their surroundings to their advantage, because if they don't and only fight in hand-to-hand combat, they would most likely lose or get their ass handed to them. In one scene, Canary is fighting two guys in an alleyway and has no weapons. She's able to defeat them in the end. However, in this fight scene, we see that she gets punched both in the stomach and face a couple of times. She's not invincible. She can lose and die. It's great. It's very John Wick almost. Well, I mean, it was directed by Chad Stahelski, but it was great to see that our leads don't have superpowers or are invincible. They're just regular people in this very crazy situation scenario for different reasons. It's a very visually stylistic, unique film. It has great action sequences, great acting overall. Everyone in this film had a lot of fun. It seems like a passion project. It was just a very creative and unique and different film. Everything was just off the walls. It was so much fun. That's why I can describe this film. It has one plot hole and a bit of cheesy dialogue and a timeline that's unnecessary of continuously jumping back and forth. But overall, it's a very great and entertaining film. And as long as the film can do that and be entertaining, then what's the issue? Well, the controversy is the issue, sadly. Now, a couple months back, Ewan McGregor and Rosie Perez, who are great in this film, had to open their mouths and discuss politics. Let's talk about Ewan McGregor first. He discusses how Black Mask is basically the living embodiment of Donald Trump, being racist, misogynistic. Why would you say this? Just why? You are basically attacking your fan base who do lean more Republican or right or conservative, because if they believe and support Donald Trump, and you're telling them that Donald Trump is racist and misogynistic, you are openly attacking people who believe a certain political viewpoint and labeling them as wrong, misogynistic, and racist. People who support your acting and career, you are begging them not to show up in seats and buy tickets. Just shut up! And Rosie Perez mentioning how this film discusses mansplaining and destroying the patriarchy.
And is in an environment where she is quickly and easily dismissed by the patriarchy, just the men's club.
And when I tell you that I was looking for that in this film while watching it, I found none of it in any shape, way, or form. It just seemed like, coincidentally, a group of girls that are against villains that still happen to be guys. It didn't seem like all women good, all men bad. That's what a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people are commenting on, how this film really vilifies all men. Yes, most of the villains in this film are men. Victor Zsasz, Black Mask, Roman Sionis, I guess the whole GCPD that are men in this film, they're all against Montoya. I didn't see the GCPD police force, all the guys in there, as misogynistic, mostly just assholes and they're not really believing in Montoya's cause. Montoya's cause basically being that all these murders of crime lords and crime bosses are being killed by a crossbow killer, which we find out is the Huntress, and she believes that the Huntress is being sent out by Black Mask, and the Huntress and Black Mask are working together or in cahoots to kill his competition. And this would then start a war between the police department and crime lord Black Mask, which he has a gigantic army. This would certainly get a lot of police officers killed during the process, so I can understand why they're belittling this idea because it seems too over the top. And we soon find out that Huntress isn't working with Black Mask at all. So Montoya is actually halfway in the wrong. Yes, she does have some sort of connection with Black Mask, that being that Black Mask right-hand man Victor Zsasz, helped kill and murder Huntress's family, so she's seeking vengeance and killing all the men that helped kill her family. That's really the only connection that's there. I'm not going to mention the diamond connection because again, she gave no fucks about the diamond whatsoever. It wasn't a driving force for her to help kill Black Mask. She just completely forgot about it or didn't really give a fuck about the family diamond. She's only looking for Victor Zsasz. Montoya's ex in this film, played by Ali Wong, who is an Asian female, convinces the GCPD to take Montoya off of the Black Mask case because it's not good for her health and it's just very destructive. Her female Asian ex helps prevent Montoya from furthering her case and getting a promotion and being a head captain. A woman who is Asian helps prevent another woman from furthering her career. Why isn't Rosie Perez mentioning this in interviews that sometimes women do take down women? Huh, Rosie Perez? Any comments?
Yeah. Didn't think so.
And it's not just Montoya's ex that tries to take down Montoya or females. There's one skater girl who gets punched by Harley Quinn and just wants vengeance and throws fucking AC at her to hopefully kill her. And there's another one that's in a car chase chasing Harley Quinn and tries shooting her ass. Sometimes there are female villains that try to take down other women. I didn't really see misogyny too much. I guess in one scene where he belittles and humiliates a woman in front of a whole crowd of people in his club, I guess it's the closest thing to misogyny because in this scene, Black Mask fails a mission of trying to retrieve his diamond, and so he's very upset. And across the room is a woman who is laughing with her friends for a different reason. He believes that she's laughing at him, and so that's when he goes up to her and starts humiliating her in front of hundreds of people. Well, not hundreds, but a gigantic room full. That's not really misogyny. He's an asshole that has a very short temper. From what I learned and was shown is that he'll only attack and kill anyone that stands in his way from getting what he wants. Majority of the people in his nightclub, he just seems like he's having a good time. Whether woman, man, gay, black, straight, what the fuck ever, everyone in this nightclub even appears to almost know Roman Sionis. He'll only attack a certain person if they're belittling him, laughing at him, or trying to stop him from reaching his goal. As long as they don't stand in his way, then they're good. That's really it from what I gathered from this film while watching it. And I don't understand why this turned off some people because again, before the film was released, we were getting a lot of this stuff from both Rosie Perez, Ewan McGregor, how it was a very feminist, forward-thinking film. It turned a lot of people off because these actors literally worked on the set. These writers and directors all worked on the set. So they're saying this from their own mouths. Then obviously audience members or comic book readers are going to be turned off because it's literally coming from the source. But I don't believe this should turn you off entirely from watching the film whatsoever. Let the film speak for itself. The cast and crew are all discussing this film after it was filmed, and they'll say anything to get a certain demographic to buy a ticket because that's showbiz, baby. They want to make money for this film so they can make sequels. It's their job, it's their living. So they'll say anything and everything and jerk whoever's dick to get seats in the theater. Let the film speak for itself and see if, yeah, they were correct and this is very misogynistic towards men or vilifies all men and it's just very SJW bullcrap. Go watch the film and experience it for yourself and form your own opinion. Just like Captain Marvel, everyone believed how the film is going to be very feminazi, SJW.
We're subverting the genre in a lot of ways and breaking new ground, and we're doing it in a way that feels really natural. It isn't trying to stick our tongues out. It's just, this is who she is and this is the story that we're telling.
Here's a proposition for you. You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm gonna let you keep your hand.
This is who she is and this is the story that we're telling.
When the film came out, everyone just kind of graded it as meh or good. It was a very average MCU Phase 1 film. It didn't really push a political propaganda. It just seemed like, again, very meh. Even though the trailers and Brie Larson made us think that it was going to be feminazi, it wasn't. And the marketing and film itself were both completely, entirely different things. And I believe that's the exact same thing that's happening here with Birds of Prey. And many people who I've seen comment on the Birds of Prey Instagram or videos or trailers mention how pleasantly surprised they were to see that this film didn't push a political propaganda whatsoever and was just a great, entertaining, action-packed film. There are a couple more reasons as to why I believe this film kind of is flopping so far at the box office, and that's one, the political propaganda that Rosie Perez and McGregor, etc. were pushing. B, no one really knows these characters at all, and you might be saying, well, nobody knew Shazam and that film did great. Well, yes, but that film was also PG-13, which brings me to my third point. This film is rated R, so a lot of families can watch this, family movie night and experience this whole new world of new characters like Ant-Man and the Wasp, who weren't very known as well, but it still did pretty good at the box office and broke even and earned more money because, again, it was family friendly and families could experience these new things together as a family. Finally, the last reason being, it's not building up to anything. This film doesn't really build up to a trilogy or build up to anything huge like Thanos or Darkseid. It doesn't even have a post-credit scene, just a post-audio. Harley Quinn's going to reveal who the secret identity of Batman is, then it cuts off and doesn't give the answer. There's no state of urgency or emergency to be the first person to watch the movie and see the post-credit scene first before everyone else and be able to know what happens next or what it's building up to. Which is fine in my opinion. Like, this film can stand on its own and be its own thing, and I'm glad it did that. However, mainstream audiences don't have an urgency to go watch this film. They'll probably watch it when it's on digital, or you can rent it for cheaper. They don't know these characters. It's rated R, so teens don't really have a chance to go watch it, and there's no state of emergency. It's just a whole bunch of little things that are piling up on each other that's really making this film a bit lackluster, I believe. At least with Shazam, it did have a post-credit scene leading to a sequel, and we also have Black Adam that's coming along, so it's all building upon each other. For Birds of Prey, so far it just stands on its own. It's not terrible or bad at all, but it's not really helping it either. Whew. So yeah, that's my take on Birds of Prey. I think it's a fantastic film to watch. It's a lot of fun, and even if you go with low expectations, that's perfectly fine, because I still think you'll have a fun time. It's not too highbrow, but it's very unique and different stylistic. It's a very memorable film in my opinion. And also to those people out there that hated this film from day one or were very negative about it, this might be the very optimistic side of me. I really don't think going into any film expecting the worst is going to help you either. If you're already expecting the worst, you're just going to be looking at all the negatives watching this film. You're not really going to be entertained or surprised at all. Anyways, please go watch this film. Hopefully it does get a sequel. Maybe it's the Gotham City Sirens sequel. Maybe it is a Birds of Prey sequel. Whatever it is, go watch it. Hopefully it's not another Alita Battle Angel case where we have to keep buying a shit ton of Blu-rays.
Buy those Blu-rays, baby!
I hope it breaks even at least at the box office. I honestly think this film does deserve another sequel, and it'll be doing a huge service to directors who will have creative control over their films, over these comic book character properties. I think it's a lot of fun and amazing to see where these directors can go creatively with these superheroes. It's a lot of fun to witness kind of different versions, variations of these characters, because even if you don't like this new variation, new version of Harley Quinn, you can always go back to the original comics or animated series. I think if you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, it'll get kind of bland and boring. I think that's what the MCU is going through right now. Yes, there are a lot of great gems in the MCU phases, but there are some that just look the same and feel the same and have the same soundtrack, and it's kind of bland and extremely safe. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button or like this video if you did enjoy it. If not, that's perfectly fine. Dislike it if you like. That's cool too. Live your life. You do you. Have a great day.